Well, it's not the video I wanted to be making, Red Sox fans, but that's just not the world that we live in. The Red Sox lose to the Yankees 4-3. Yeah, we're going to talk about it all in today's video. Game 3 is later tonight. We will be live, so don't miss out on that. So I'm just going to start off by saying I was very angry, very overreactionary coming out of this game. I said, oh, we're cooked. This series is over. And look, after some reflection, I mean, there's always hope. Baseball is a wild sport and anything can happen. We'll talk about the pitching matchup here in a minute. But I want to talk about the game first. I want to make a disclaimer real quick before we get into this. I know what a lot of people's knee-jerk reaction is going to be is to blame the umpire. I, too, blamed the umpire for some of the Red Sox follies. However, this is not on the umpire, and I will never blame a game on officiating, ever. I will never blame a game on officiating, ever. There are multiple, and I mean multiple reasons, in multiple instances where the Red Sox screwed up, and that inevitably lost them the game. We're going to get into all of those in a second, but first, what's your one-word reaction to the loss? Mine is winnable. That's my one-word reaction. This was an incredibly winnable game. You should have won this game. You should be headed to Toronto right now. Nonetheless, you lost, and later tonight, Connelly Early is getting his postseason debut in Yankee Stadium. So I didn't put together many graphics for this. I figured I'd just go off the cuff and riff a little bit. Because I am frustrated. While the season is not over, it's nowhere near over. This season's not over yet. You still got an entire ball game you got to play. This felt like your best shot. It did. Because look, Connelly Early, while he has been good, is still a rookie. And he hasn't faced the best competition when he's pitched at the major league level. So my optimism is a little lower than it was yesterday, but there's still hope. But let's talk about the reasons why the Red Sox lost this game. First things first, this isn't a reason, this is just something that happened in the game. Brayan Bello gets pulled in the third inning. He went 2 1/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, no Ks. Ben Rice home run to start the game as well. I actually agree with this decision. Alex Cora treated last night's game like Game 7 of the World Series. And he treated it like this was their elimination game. And I completely agree with him. Like I said in my preview, like I have said before that, you didn't want to go to Game 3. You really didn't. Because the Yankees have all the momentum now. They are at home, and you're pitching a rookie pitcher. You didn't want to go to Game 3. You're in Game 3, but you didn't want to go to Game 3. And Cora knew that. So he threw Brayan Bello. Brayan Bello had an incredibly short leash. And Brayan Bello didn't look good. He didn't. You were going to get either an absolute masterclass masterpiece from Bello, or you were going to get what you got tonight. And thankfully, Cora managed to get him out of the game, and you went to the bullpen. You used 6 relievers last night. Now, part of that is you only had to use Aroldis Chapman the night before. But still, only 6 relievers. We'll get back to Cora here in a second, but let's talk about the key points here. Well, actually, no, first, actually. So great Brayan Bello's performance for me. A, B, C, D, or F. He only gave you a 2 1/3. It was a disappointing 2 1/3. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. Could they have kept him out there a little bit longer? Maybe, but there were base runners on. He seemed to be crumbling. I don't know what to make of this outing. I really don't. You let me know what you thought. Grade Brayan Bello's outing against the Yankees, A, B, C, D, or F. So these are the reasons why the Red Sox lost. There's 4. There's really 4 of them that I can point to. The most obvious is Jarren Duran. And this breaks my heart because Jarren Duran's my favorite player. I've made that incredibly well known, that Jarren Duran is my favorite player on this current team. Drops the ball in the outfield. Tough play, but a rather routine play. Hits his glove, bounces out, a run scores. It's one of the, and you lose by a run. So if he makes that play, the inning's over, and you go in, I believe, up 1 at that point. Momentum's completely different. Instead, they score the tying run, and you end up losing by a run. So that was a huge fumble, and I feel really bad for Duran. He works his ass off. He is one of the most committed players to this team. But I'm also going to call him out when I have to and say that you've got to make that damn play. You've got to catch that ball. It was not a hard play. It wasn't. It just hit off his glove. You catch that ball, I think they win this game. I do. Next, not sending Nate Eaton on the Masataka Yoshida single. So when the game was happening and I was live, I initially said that Jazz Chisholm saved a run. And he inevitably, and he did, with a diving stop. But then he dives, catches the ball, turns, and like spikes it into the ground, and Yoshida is safe. It goes past the first baseman. If we watch the replay, Nate Eaton was running before the pitch was even thrown. Why Kyle Hudson did not send him is beyond me. If you watch the replay, Kyle Hudson is pointing at third, saying, go back to third, go back to third, go back to third. And then he's like, oh, no, go. Kyle Hudson's been under fire over the last few weeks. That's a major fumble. It's a major fumble. Now is the time to get aggressive. You're in the postseason in a do-or-die situation. Now is the time to get aggressive. And by not sending Eaton there, that's another run that more than likely would have scored because Eaton's like the fastest player on your team. That didn't. And you lose by a run. See, these are all adding up. Duran makes the catch, they don't score a run. If Eaton scores there, that's another run. You should be leading that game by a run, in retrospect. It is what it is. We're going to talk about a few more reasons here in a second. But first, I did want to shout out everyone that watched the stream last night. It was a lot of fun. Even though the Red Sox lost, it was still a lot of fun. And we gained more subscribers. We hit 6,000 subscribers on yesterday's live. We're now up to 6,080. Our goal is to get to 6,500. But can we get 20 subscribers on this video alone to get to 6,100? That is one step closer to our goal. Daily Red Sox videos, even when the season is over. If the Red Sox season were to end today, I'm not saying it will, but if it does, we will still have videos every single day. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't miss out. I want to hear your thoughts. Join the channel. And we're going to be live today. At the time of recording this, I do not know when they're playing. It depends on what happens in the Reds-Dodgers game right now. They might be playing later than they did the last 2 nights. So I'll let you know when they play. Make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when we go live. Two more big things that happened. Ceddanne Rafaela, you got 2 runners on with no outs. Ceddanne Rafaela, who has been one of your biggest clutch hitters all season, they have him bunt. So first things first for Ceddanne. He bunted at 2 of the worst pitches I've ever seen. They are so far out of the zone, it's not even funny. Now, standard rules of bunting, don't bunt balls. Like, if it's clearly outside, you can pull back and it won't be it'll be a ball. So Ceddanne, the first one, is way outside. He lunges at it, it's a foul ball. Then the next pitch is way outside. He lunges at it, it is popped up to the pitcher. So you don't move any of the runners. That is one of the most unproductive outs that they've had all postseason. And you waste a perfectly good opportunity. They bunted earlier in the game, and it was a great decision. Bunting in that situation with that batter, knowing what his tendencies are, with 2 of your fastest runners on, I believe it was Eaton and Duran at the time. What are we doing? Ceddanne is by far the most clutch hitter on your team. Let him swing the damn bat. Now, if he would have swung the bat, would he have swung at those 2 balls and missed them? Maybe. But you at least give him a chance to put the ball in the outfield instead of popping it up a little short, boop, to the pitcher. No. It's a horrible decision. I don't know what they were thinking there. It just wasn't a good decision. And last but not least, I got to give some fire to Cora. Not fire Cora, but I got to give him some flack. Because I'm a Cora defender. Everyone knows this. I will defend Alex Cora till the day I die. Everyone knows this. He kept Whitlock in for way too long. He really did. I know they're playing matchups. I know Whitlock pitched really good in the 7th. I know all of that. I get all of that. But he started to crumble in the 8th. And we've seen this before with Whitlock. If he pitches more than one inning, he has tendencies of starting to show fatigue and starting to crumble. We've seen this all season long. He threw his season-high pitches last night at 47. I do have to call out Cora on that one. That was not the right decision. You had a completely fresh bullpen. At that time, you had used Whitlock was your 5th reliever. You still had a bunch of relievers left in your bullpen. I don't understand that decision to keep him in for that long. You could tell that he couldn't find the zone. You could tell that they were hitting off of him. And then you give up the game-winning run. I don't agree with that decision to keep Whitlock in. They kept him in way too long. I didn't agree with that. I did not agree with that call at all. I did want to end on a positive, though. Trevor Story had a hell of a game. This was the Trevor Story game. I'll also give shout-outs. No, it's literally Trevor Story. It's literally the Trevor Story game. Your offense did nothing else, literally. Your offense didn't do anything. So, you can blame it on the ump, but your offense needs to execute, and they didn't. It literally was Trevor Story. He went 2 for 4. He scored a run and had 3 RBIs. You scored 3 runs. He batted all 3 of them in. One player cannot carry you. They can't. You need to have other people step up. Romy Gonzalez goes 0 for. Carlos Narvaez goes 0 for. Sedon goes 0 for with a walk. Sogard goes 0 for. Refsnyder goes 0 for. Damn near your entire lineup went 0 for. It just can't happen. This is the Red Sox team we've seen all year, though. It shouldn't be a surprise. This is the Red Sox team we've seen all year. They can't hit with runners in scoring position. They make stupid mistakes. They make errors. They can't execute. We've seen this team all year. So it shouldn't come as a surprise. And now, instead of having an extra day off before you head to Toronto, tonight you got to play again. And this time, your season could be over. Put up or shut up. Are you boys or are you men? We're going to find out tonight. Connelly Early takes the mound. I forget who the probable is for the Yankees, but it's going to be Connelly Early, as far as I know, unless Cora has said something different. But I don't think he will. He's been inferring that it's going to be Connelly Early, so I'm going to take his word for it. If it's not, I'll make a short later today and let you know. But yeah, I don't have any more thoughts. I'm disappointed. Thought they should have won. Very, very winnable game. It's baseball at the end of the day, though. Things happen. Do they win the series? Type Y for yes, type N for no. It's tough to call, man. I don't know. I'm going to say, I'm going to go against everything I've said this week, where I said if they got to game 3, they were cooked. I'm going to go against that and say they do. I think Connelly Early comes out and he shoves. I think the offense wakes up. I think with their backs against the wall, they win. I'm going to go against everything I've said, and I'm going to say they win. I think they'll have a different lineup. I don't think it's a lefty that's pitching for the Yankees. I think they'll have a different lineup, and I think they'll win. I'm going to have that hopefulness at the end of this video. I'm going to have a glimmer of hope at the end of this video. I'm going to. We'll see what happens, though. We'll see what happens. And you can watch what happens with us live. We are going to be live for the game. I don't know what time it's going to start. I don't. So make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications so you know when we go live. I'm not going to know what time this game starts until after this video has already been filmed. So we will be live. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you turn on those notifications. Do not miss out. This could be the last game of the season. It could be. It could be. I don't know. I don't feel great about it, but we'll see. hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, join us later today, and we're going to enjoy either the end of or the continuation of the Red Sox season going forward.